This is some of the most extreme terrain in North America, and I wasn't sure if I was ready for it. So in this video, I'm taking on the extreme alpine terrain at Big Sky Resort, including the legendary Big Couloir. I'll be breaking down what the terrain is actually like, the tram access, and the Big Couloir experience, my East Coast perspective, plus the difficulty of the terrain. So stick around. You won't want to miss this because honestly, this was way more intense than I expected. Quick message before we jump in. If you're new here, consider subscribing and dropping a like. I'm an East Coast skier testing out West Coast skiing for the first time, and your support goes a long way as a small creator. Alright, let's jump into the subject now. Number 1, what is the terrain actually like? Big Sky's alpine terrain is mainly accessed through the Lone Peak Tram, or by hiking into different zones across the mountain. This is where you'll find most of the double black and triple black diamond terrain. To make things easier to understand, I'll break the mountain into 3 main zones. You have the south-facing bowls, east-facing bowls, and north-facing bowls. Each one connects to different lifts and offers a very different type of terrain. To begin, the south-facing bowls. This is the kind of like the entry point into Big Sky's alpine terrain. It's generally the most forgiving zone, but don't let that fool you. It's still serious terrain with wide open, steep faces. While I was here, I got to ski the trail called Big Couloir, and honestly, it surprised me. It was way steeper and more exposed than I expected, but what else do you expect from alpine terrain? However though, it's your first time riding the tram, this is the side that I'd recommend starting with. Everything here is accessed throughout the Lone Peak Tram. Now, east-facing bowls. This is where things starts to feel more serious. This site is home to the legendary Big Couloir, one of the most iconic lines at Big Sky Resort. We took the tram up specifically to ski it, and I won't lie, it was a full adrenaline moment. Steep, narrow, and absolutely unforgettable. Stick through the whole video to hear my full experience though. Everything in this zone is also accessed throughout the Lone Peak Tram. Now, what about the north-facing bowl? This is easily the most extreme and intimidating terrain on the mountain. At least that's what I thought so. You're dealing with steep chutes, tight lines, and the terrain that looks like out of a ski film. When I was there, a lot of it was closed due to low snow, but we still saw somehow some skiers dropping into lines that honestly looked insane in person. Now, most of this terrain is accessed either by hiking from the headwaters or challenger area, or via the lone tree lift, with some lines also accessible from the tram. Alright, let's talk about the important part of this video, tram access and my Big Couloir experience. First, I want to say this clearly, if you're considering skiing it, you should be an advanced skier. This is serious terrain and Ski Patrol takes it seriously for a reason. So getting up there, to access it, you'll need to take the Lone Peak Tram to the summit of Big Sky Resort. Before even getting on the line, there's a few things you should know. And honestly, this part caught me off guard whenever I tried to do it. So the tram access, what I wish I knew earlier, as you may need to pay for it. There's a few different ways to access the tram depending on your pass, which includes your lift tickets, your season pass holders from Big Sky, Icon/Mountain Collective, buddy tickets, and partner resort benefits. Please pay close attention to the information shown on the screen, as this will help you better understand whether the tram is free for you or not. And feel free to pause at any time to read through this information. If you need to set up auto charge, you can do it via Big Sky website. Note, you will need to create an account with them, or you can always set it up at the lift ticket window, which is what we ended up doing. Once your pass is set up, you can scan at the tram base and load up. You'll enter through the skier's gate, take the tram up, and at the top, you'll have access to either advanced terrain or just a viewing area. Now, the Big Couloir process, or in my own personal opinion, part most people don't talk about. Before skiing Big Couloir, you need to go to the Ski Patrol cabin near the tram, sign a waiver, provide your details, book a drop time, and have a partner with you. If you don't have a partner, you can't ski it. They do this because you're in the couloir. Rescue access is extremely limited. It's controlled for safety, not convenience. Now, what about dropping in? Once everything is set, you're finally good to go. There are 2 entry options for Big Couloir. You have a direct steep drop in from the top or a traverse in from the side, which is what I personally chose to do since it was my first run. At the top of the line, it definitely feels real, narrow, steep, and exposed, but in a controlled way. Now, what about the skiing itself? I'll be honest, my camera actually died halfway through this run, which I was really upset about, so I couldn't actually film it, but I'll do my best to describe it. The couloir has 2 main sections. You have your upper section and lower section. The upper section is, to be honest, the serious part. It's narrow, steep, and requiring controlled hop turns. You really have to stay composed here. Halfway down, you stop and wait for your partner before continuing down. The lower section opens up slightly, but it's still very steep and technical. Now, my honest takeaway. As an East Coast skier, this was my first time skiing terrain like this. Was it scary? A bit. Was it the hardest thing I've ever skied? Honestly, not necessarily. I think what makes Big Couloir intimidating is the reputation and the exposure, not just the skiing itself. That said, it's an incredible experience and one I won't forget. And funnily enough, I actually found some of the north-facing alpine terrain at Big Sky more intimidating in certain spots than Big Couloir itself. Honestly, this place lives up to the hype. Out of every mountain I've skied, I was blown away by just how much technical and challenging terrain there is here. I don't even know if many places in North America can match it. Standing at the top of Lone Peak, you get this insane 360 view, and what makes it even crazier is that you can drop in from almost any direction. It's honestly hard to describe until you see it for yourself. As an East Coast skier, this experience was just unreal. It pushed my skills in ways I wasn't expecting. Before coming here, I had never skied a proper chute, and now I can say I have. It really makes you realize what big mountain skiing is all about. Anyway, that's going to wrap up my experience skiing the extreme alpine terrain at Big Sky. If you've ever skied here, let me know what you thought, and if not, would you actually drop into something like the Big Couloir? And if there's another mountain you want me to check out as an East Coast skier, let me know. Anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.